All right, welcome back, guys. This week we are going to focus on the Pythagorean theorem. Hopefully you guys are all doing well, staying healthy. I'm going to try and make this a short, quick lesson for you on the Pythagorean theorem, which at first glance looks fairly complicated, but after you do a few examples, you're going to find that it's pretty straightforward. So I listed up here a little reminder from last week, the Pythagorean theorem, which is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. For anybody that might have forgot, a and b are the two legs of your triangle. So we could assign this to be a and this to be b, or we could flip-flop that. Your legs are the two sides that are touching your right angle. Your c is this piece right here. That's also known as our hypotenuse. That is our longest side. So in this particular example, our two legs are 4 and 6, and our hypotenuse is going to be x. So we're going to fill in for a, 4, or excuse me, I guess we labeled that as 6 squared plus 4 squared equals x squared. 6 is going in for a, 4 is going in for b, and x is going in for c. Now, we could have flipped the order on this and made this 4 squared plus 6 squared. It would not affect our outcome at all. So we're going to go through and just do a little quick math now. 6 squared we can put in our calculator will give us 36. 4 squared is going to be 16. That equals x squared. We're going to add 36 and 16 together, and you're going to get 52 is equal to x squared. And we have to remember to get rid of a squared. This is going back a few units here, but to get rid of a squared, we're going to take the square root on each side. So we're going to end up taking the square root of 52. And you're going to find most of the time these don't end up being nice, pretty numbers. Square root of 52, we're going to get a number like 7 2/10 if I round that. And we're going to put our units on here. So this is 7 2/10 inches is equal to x. So that means my hypotenuse here, this x, is going to be 7 2/10. Now when you do these problems, your hypotenuse will always be your longest side. So that's a quick way that you can check to make sure that you did this right, is make sure that this side is longer than the other two, which it is in this particular example. All right, we're going to do one more here together, and then you should be in good shape to do some of these on your own if you're not already. So in this particular example, we have another right triangle. You can tell by that little square in the corner here. We're going to label our sides. So I'll call this A and B. These are my two legs that are touching that right angle. And my hypotenuse, C, is going to be 16. So if I'm writing out, I'm going to use the Pythagorean theorem. A squared plus B squared is equal to C squared. I'm going to fill in x for my A, 5 for my B, and 16 for my C. So I'm going to have x squared, 5 squared is 25, so x squared plus 25, and 16 squared is 256. Now we're just going to try and solve this equation. So I'm going to subtract 25 on both sides. So this will be x squared equals 256 minus 25, which will be 231. And then to finish off, just like I did in the last problem, I need to take the square root of both sides. So if I take the square root of 231, I'm doing that off to the side in my calculator here, I'm going to get 15 2/10 feet. All right, that's going to do it for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this quick video on Pythagorean theorem. We'll be moving on to something a little bit different tomorrow, also using the Pythagorean theorem. All right.